Hey, where you going, man? Where you going? You going to Ducky Time? I want to come to Ducky Time. It's Ducky Time. It's Ducky Time. It's Ducky Time. Woohoo!
Welcome to another episode of Ducky Time. Today, we're going to be talking about all different types of evidence that animals have been there. This may be anything from an insect gull to the actual animal skeleton. So friends, stay tuned for a wild ride. This is an insect gull. So what happens is a mama insect will drill a little hole and lay her egg in here, and then as the egg hatches and grows, it releases a chemical. And that chemical forms this ball, and then the insect larva stays warm and cozy inside this ball all winter long. Now this one, there's no holes in it, so the larva is still in there. It will, when it's time for it to come out, it'll drill a little hole and out pops the larva. Right here, we have a cocoon. This would be from a moth. The caterpillar formed its cocoon, and then you can see there's a hole there, and there's some holes here where it would have broken out of the cocoon, or something came in and ate it. One of the two. So this field right here has all sorts of what I like to call spittlebugs. And we call them spittlebugs because they create what looks like spit, and these giant wads of spit, and lay their egg, and their larva grows up inside these little spit balls on the leaves. And these grasses right here are covered with them, and it's so cool. All of the white things on these plants are the nests of the spittlebug. Oh, hello there. So this right here is a goose nest. Now, there's geese over there, but there's no eggs in the nest. What probably happened is some animal like a raccoon or a fox came and attacked the nest. The adult geese got away, however the fox or the raccoon took the eggs and scampered off with them and made a nice meal out of them. No more baby geese.
Here we have a blue jay sitting on her nest. Now the males and females will both work to build the nest. The males do more of the gathering of materials, and the females do more of the building. Now she'll lay 2 to 7 eggs, which she'll incubate for about 17 to 18 days. When they hatch, the babies will be born featherless and helpless, with their eyes closed.
Friends, right here, we have half of a robin's egg. Now, with this robin's egg, this was not eaten by something like the goose eggs were, because it's broken pretty much in half. If you look on the inside of the egg, there's not a whole lot of leftover yolk or anything like that. So this means that this egg hatched. So this half of an eggshell tells us that somewhere up in one of these trees, there's a new fresh baby robin. So friends, as you can see right here, we have the trail of a mouse. The mice will, in the wintertime, underneath the snow, they'll run under, creating tunnels, and as the snow melts from on top of it, you can then see where they were. Right here, we have a prime piece of scat. Now you can tell what type of animal it is from what is in the scat. I'm not going to touch it because it is poo, my friends, but you can see there's animal hair in it. And there's some seeds and maybe a little some seeds from probably some berries or something. And this tapered end right here is a dead giveaway as to what type of animal made this piece of scat. Because of the tapered end and all of the fur in it, and how big it is, this is coyote scat. Right here, we have what is probably the hole to some sort of ground squirrel. they'll dig and they'll dig burrows underground. And what's really cool here is you can see the dirt right here is where they would have been digging, and it would have gotten kicked up underneath them. We know it's a ground squirrel because the hole's only this big around. If it was from a larger animal, it would be a larger hole because the animals need to be able to fit into their holes and go in quickly so that they don't get eaten by whatever might be chasing. You can tell that it was kicking out dirt behind it because of these piles right here. It would have been digging with its front paws and kicking the dirt out using its back.
So we were out looking for a type of plant that is native to Old Wall Camp, and we came upon this scene right here. We thought at first it was mushrooms. It is not, but Ducky is going to explain what we have right here and what happened.
So this is the skeletal remains of a male deer or a buck. We can tell it's a male deer because of the antlers. They're antlers, not horns. Probably a younger buck, probably only a couple years old, and you can tell because if you look at the teeth, the back molars are still really big. The older deer gets, the more they're eating and the more they're chewing, so the smaller their teeth get. Here at camp, they don't have a ton of competition, and they don't have a lot of stuff trying to eat them, unfortunately for this guy. So his antlers are pretty big. And if you look, there's a bunch of ants and insects and beetles crawling all over it. They're finishing the decomposition. They're part of what we call the FBI, the fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates. They're the invertebrate part of the FBI, and they're helping to continue to break down and to decompose this to bring it back and make it dirt. Just like Mufasa says, it's the whole circle of life. We found this deer skeleton last week. And originally we thought that the deer had been taken down by the pack of coyotes that live here at camp. However, after closer examination and talking with my expert that I know, we've come to realize that the deer was probably hit by a car and then came here and died from the injuries from getting hit. Now we think it was hit by a car because the ribs right here are broken. Now, no predator in Illinois is big enough to break ribs like that. We figure that the deer probably died sometime in the late fall, early winter, because it still has its antlers. With how bleached the antlers are, it has been sitting in the sun for quite some time. A few months ago, so about a month ago, our executive director, Bill, saw a huge amount of turkey vultures flying around in about this area in the back 40. He had come out to try and figure out what it was, what they were circling and looking for, but he couldn't figure it out. And then we found this, and he figures this is probably what it was. Now, the turkey vultures migrate, so they probably came back up north after the winter, and they found this. Now, if this had been frozen all winter, then it would have been thawing, so the turkey vultures could have eaten it. So we have furs scattered in a pretty large area around here, and most of that came from either the turkey vultures pulling meat off, or also other small mammals, maybe a singular coyote pulling meat off of it and taking it away and eating it away from the big part of the body. From a week ago when we found this, the grass underneath the skeleton has grown up a ridiculous amount. If you look around it, the grass is greener and it's growing more, but it's not growing as quickly. Part of the reason for that is that as the flesh decomposed, it leached nutrients into the soil, helping the grass to grow. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Ducky Time. Friends, comment in the comment section below all of the things that you have found around your house of evidence of animals. Join us next week when we talk about mammals with our friend Squirrel.